Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Jay-Z has put the press on Tony Busby. Tony Busby is not and was not allowed to file the cases on Jay-Z and Diddy in New York. Sit back and listen to the breaking news as I break it down so you understand. Tony Busby got the case thrown out. All Diddy's cases could be thrown out. Here we go. Subscribe to my daughter's YouTube channel, Juanita Mecca Audio, and at Unique Mecca Audio Prison Stories, and at Mecca Audio TV. Hit the like button, notification bell. It's on and popping. You know what it is, Unique Mecca Audio, man. We're going to break it down. Check it out so you understand. Tony Busby has been barred from practicing law in New York's 5 boroughs that comprise of New York City. Round of applause to New York. Round of applause to New York. Round of applause to New York. All right? Now, check it out, right? Tony Busby, right? The ruling comes after attorney Tony Busby withdrew his sexual lawsuit against Jay-Z, right? Tony Busby never had permission to even file in New York. We're going to talk about what Tony Busby should have did, and now I got both of those men on the screen because Jay-Z went toe-to-toe with him and let him know, I'm not Diddy, I'm not playing the games. Diddy fell back and let this man, Tony Busby, file dozens of lawsuits again. I'm talking about like 102 lawsuits and never said nothing. And then he sit here wonder why he's in the situation he's in, not to give him a shot. But then you got Jay-Z that said, nah, you ain't going to come out at me like that. And Jay-Z goes in and he starts to, and Tony Busby come back at Jay-Z. And the whole time this fight is going on, Tony Busby is not even allowed to be in the ring. It's crazy or what? That's what it, see, I like to break it down so y'all understand where I'm coming from, right? So check it out. Now, according to the legal documents obtained by court reporter Megan Croft, Busby has lost permission to practice law in the Southern District of New York City indefinitely. Check it out. The Texas-based attorney brandishment comes, it covers New York, right? It covers New York, the Bronx, Westchester, Rockland, Putnam, Orange, Dutchess, and Sullivan counties in the state, which includes New York City's 5 boroughs, and you already know they're not going forward in that other district of New York. Now, right, this is problematic, right? This is real problematic, right? But the court reporter in Insecurities, right? Not insecurity. The court reporter insinuates there is a correlation between the civil lawsuit that Busby filed against Jay-Z that was eventually dismissed with prejudice, which means they could never bring that case back against Jay-Z again. So round of applause, Jay-Z's in the clear from that frivolous, as Jay-Z called it, lawsuit. Round of applause to Jay-Z for going toe-to-toe, right? Now, that case was eventually dismissed, right? Like I said, without prejudice. With prejudice. With prejudice means that it's presidential, it'll be prejudicial, or it'll be against, the defendant, Jay-Z in this case, constitutional rights if they allow him to bring this case back again or to refile it. So that's what with prejudice means. That means it prejudice them. You know what prejudice means. That means you're done with somebody, all right? Now, this is problematic, right? This is problematic for the celebrated attorney. He has filed more than a dozen cases against Sean Diddy Combs in New York. He faces an inability to follow through on the cases, meaning what I see, because we ride. We riding early morning. What I see is that Tony Busby fires shots, scandalous shots, defamatory shots, embarrassing shots, brand-breaking career shots, and he feels like the people he's found the shots against is not going to want to go up to have their business in the public, so they usually settle behind the screens, right? So he fires a shot. He expects nobody to respond and them to try and settle under the table. That's why I was saying last week, did Jay-Z succumb to Tony Busby's crap? And settle the lawsuit? And that's why Tony Busby withdrew from the case? Remember, I gave you a number of scenarios. But now we know the answer is not that Jay-Z paid him off under the table and asked Tony Busby to come up front and say, as a part of the settlement, that he was withdrawing the case. You see, this is how speculation works. That's why I told you I don't like to jump out there until I hear all the evidence, because people quick to rush to judgment. Because now, as of last week, it was that Jay-Z paid him under the table and Tony Busby did that as part of the case, and that's why he's out there saying that he's withdrawing the case. But no, now we found out this week that Tony Busby gets gunshots because he filed a case in New York and wasn't allowed. And I'm going to break that down to you, right? Now, according to the reporter that broke this, C-Unif, the ruling came from the Committee of Grievances for the Southern District of New York, which investigates alleged attorney misconduct. So that means that somebody, maybe Jay-Z, dropped note, is what we call it in prison, on Tony Busby that, yo, he's not even allowed to file in New York, so why am I even wasting my money and my resources and my time to even be going through this crap responding to this when he's not even allowed to file in New York? Tony Busby, you knew you wasn't allowed to file in New York City when you filed these lawsuits. You filed them on Diddy. Diddy let you get away with it, so you kept pushing it to 102 lawsuits. And then now you said, okay, Diddy ain't responding fast enough. My clients is sitting here saying that I'm full of crap, or because I'm not getting no money out of Diddy with these 102 lawsuits. So let me add plaintiff number 2 or accuser number 2 and make it Jay-Z. Jay-Z will surely cough up the bag. He's with Beyonce and he's kind of political. And don't be surprised if Jay-Z run for political office in New York soon, maybe even mayor. Could you see Jay-Z being the mayor of New York? Or maybe the governor? Wouldn't that be special for us? You know what I mean when I say us. You know, because y'all don't act like y'all together no more. Because y'all sat here, you tear down Jay-Z, you tear down Diddy, you tear down this, you tear down that. I don't see no other race tearing down their race but ours, which is baffling to me. Now, see enough tweets that Busby failed to ask for permission to practice in the district before submitting an admission in January 29, 2025. You understand? Do you understand what that means? That means that, you know, Busby failed to ask permission to the New York District Court if he could file this motion. Instead, you know, in their court, being that he's banned from filing in the court. And he did that January 29th, and he's been filing these cases in New York since last year. Come on, man. See, Busby really expected Jay-Z to just cough up the bag, being that Diddy wasn't paying him no mind, you know? And then you know, let's take a ride. Do you think that, you know, Jay-Z did that for Diddy on the low? You know what I mean? Let me see it again. On the low, you know? He said, okay, you worry about that street case, you know, fella music, homie. You know, and I'm going to deal with him with this federal case because this civil case lawsuit, because I know that you can't say nothing. So Jay-Z went at him like a pit bull and said, hold up, you're not even allowed to come in my state, much less. Now we're going to get into this, right? He reportedly did so recently because his negligence was painted out in a lawsuit against Jay-Z and Diddy on, again, SA lawsuit against a 13-year-old girl, right? So he didn't file the ask permission until 2 weeks ago. And he's been filing over 3 months ago. Now, in a second, in a second report, right, that I seen up there, she points out that Busby has to seek pro-hack vice. Now, pro-hack vice, that's how it's pronounced. Pro-hack vice. P-R-O-H-A-V-VIC. But in the court system, we just call it pro-havoc. Now, I'm going to break down what pro-havoc mean. That's what they said that Tony Busby should have filed, and I know y'all don't know what the heck all this terminology is. And then, later on, I'm going to do something that, I know law and order, what is it? One of those big news TV things is going to do something on it, and when they do it, I'm going to break it down for you, but let me break it down real simple now, because I'm going to take you on a ride. I like to give you the rides so that you understand that I've been through this, so I'm qualified to speak on this. Not the people that been sitting on Twitter with their little fingers making up anything and get a free camera on their face, come on YouTube and just spread propaganda. Now, let's ride. When I got arrested in Virginia for this case that got me life plus 20 that I wound up serving 26 and a half years for, I went down there. I didn't trust not one lawyer in the state of Virginia because I knew it was a railroad and I was going to trial. No cop-outs, no pleas, no negotiating with the prosecutor. I don't do none of that crap. None of that. And I ain't saying it to brag. I'm just saying because at that time, I was in the criminal world. In the criminal world, when they catch you, you fight. You don't sit down and negotiate. You fight when they catch you. That's why I say don't get involved in the streets. Don't get involved in the criminal world because when they catch you, the rules are you fight. You don't fight, you'll wind up in prison. You're going to have to deal with why you chose not to fight and become a rat bastard. And that's what's crazy, right? Because we riding. That's what's crazy that with this third-party corporation thing, right? A person in jail, right? We're going to say his name, Big Meat. Big Meat's in jail a number of years. He fighting, he do this and that. He gets with a girl that he knows is a rat bastard. We're not even going to call her an informant. I'm not even going to disrespect the informants by calling them informants, and I don't respect the informants. And I look down even worse, as somebody will sit here and get someone else to be a rat bastard and then come back and try and get the benefits from it, ducking a little rat bastard head in the dirt, peeking up. Tammy, how we looking over there? I'm coming home soon. How we looking? That's what they're accusing Big Meat of. That's the worst thing to be accused of. Like I said, I'm trying to hold on to that one strand of rope that he got going is that, right now Tammy's a woman scorned. But you can't convince me that Tammy did all this without his knowledge and she was going to visit him regular. It's just so much going on. I'm going to do a whole report on my assessment on that, right? But like I said, we was riding. So let me ride back to Virginia. My case is just like his case with the pro-hack vice, right? We just called it pro-havoc, is even how they put it in the court papers. P-R-O-V-O-C, havoc, Pro-H-A-V-O-C. Now, let's go. So when they picked me up, they brought me down to Virginia. I didn't trust none of the Virginia lawyers, so I contacted my lawyers in New York. I said, one of y'all better bring your black asses down here. That's all I dealt with in New York, with black lawyers. Didn't trust the white ones either, just keeping it 100. Yeah, they got big names, but the white lawyers, all they want you to do is cop out. That's it. See, when I say white, I mean European. When I tap that, that means white, all European, all the same. And you already know in the back, that's where we at. What are we? So if you're talking to somebody and you want to say something, you're talking about a white person, you're public, you know what I mean? And you'd be like, yo, you know that dude, blah, 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 you know what I mean? And he got into it with the, you know what I'm saying? And you just tap, and that's where you at. But now, I contact my lawyer and I tell him I don't trust none of these lawyers. You know what I mean? So bring your ass down here. So he said, yo, I ain't allowed to come down there. I said, what you mean you ain't allowed to come down here? What, are you scared? He said, no, I'm not licensed to practice in Virginia. I didn't take the bar exam in Virginia. So what I have to do is I have to get a lawyer from Virginia to be the lead person on the case. I said, whoa. What you mean put a Virginia lawyer as the lead counsel on the case? And he said, no, don't panic. He said, no, what we're going to do is we're going to get him to just file that he's the lead cause counsel, and then he could bring me in as his co-counsel, and then I could run the case even though his name is down as him running it. You know, that's like, you know, these weak dudes in a relationship with a girl, and, you know what I mean, or you know, a dude dealing with two women, and, you know, he don't tell his woman about the other woman, but he tells his woman about the wife, and then next thing you know, the woman, she's getting all the secrets. She's really the wife. So now the wife is sitting back and she says nothing, just like the lawyer in the front in Virginia don't say nothing. My New York lawyer came down there, ran the case, did what he had to do. We beat half the charges, other half we didn't beat, and I just sat it down and I rumbled up, went up to Lewisburg and started studying the law and started fighting, and we wound up coming back, and I was victorious, and now I'm home like the pit bull reporter on YouTube, giving y'all all this wisdom from my pain that I went through in order to get it. So if you want to question my pain that I had to go through 26 years of experience to get, feel free to go on all the YouTube channels and play with the rat bastards and flip-flop wearing and public trolls. So we're not having that over here at Unique Mega Audio. So now, after Jane Doe withdrew her lawsuit against Jay-Z, the Rock Nation billionaire issued a statement. Today is a victory. The frivolous, he said the frivolous, fictitious, and appalling allegations have been dismissed, and it has hurt me to the sum of $20 million a year. And right now, Tony Busby got to pay me. So Jay-Z is now flipped the script and he's suing Tony Busby. Could you believe that? You understand what I'm saying? So now, this civil suit was without merit, right? That's what they say. This civil suit without merit and never going anywhere. The fictional tale that they created was laughable, if not for the seriousness of the claims. I would not wish this experience on anyone. The trauma that my wife, my children, my loved ones, and I have endured can never be dismissed. That's why Jay-Z is now suing Tony Busby for accusing he and his family in incalculable harm, not to mention the loss of about $20 million a year. It remains to be seen how this will impact Busby's civil suits against Diddy. Because right now, Busby's is not licensed under the Bar Association to go up against anyone in New York, much as these two billionaires. Don't y'all find it ironic that Busby's only going at our millionaires? Somebody put in the comments. Because as I'm sitting here reporting, I said, okay, I didn't even know Jay-Z was a billionaire. I thought him and Beyonce combined together was a billionaire, but they just said he's a billionaire. Now Diddy's a billionaire. Our two first black billionaires in the industry is being attacked for the bag. And now, crossed over into the court, one keeps his mouth shut. That's Jay-Z. Don't bother nobody and settle for what he's supposed to get as he's supposed to, per how the look at it. Then you got the other one, Jay-Z, Diddy, who wants to shine. You know, he feels like, I'm not a regular chicken. You don't treat me any kind of way. The same amount of money you spend on Ciroc and De Leon for their advertisement. You need to spend that on me, even though, I own 25% or 50% or whatever percent of, the brand. and you own 100%. The other brand, you want to spend all your money on the brand that you own 100%. You don't want to spend the same amount of money on the brand that you own the 50%. So now we're in this particular. So Diddy jumps out there. These people, they sell liquor in like 98 of 100 countries. They got their liquor in, and Diddy with his little $1 billion went at these people. They told Diddy, we wipe our with $1 billion. We put your little monkey tap dancing, jigaboo ass, flip flop wearing cicadas in Paris, and we put you in yachts and we took you in like you was one of our own, boy. That's what they called him, but they said, boy, we took you in like you was one of our own, and then you bite the very hand that feeds you. Somebody, please tell me, where do they make these triggers? Why Diddy can't just be like Jay-Z, is what the liquor company was saying. They said, we got to teach him a lesson to keep Jay-Z in check. So right after they lost the suit against Diddy, because the court ruled in his favor, they said, hold up, go get him. Next thing you know, the feds is raiding his house. The next thing you know, he got an indictment for sex A. Next thing you know, he got more lawsuits, and that was supposed to let Jay-Z and everyone else know that's blowing up, getting ready to get that billion, 50 Cent included, watch your back, because when you start getting too big for your britches, we're going to come get you. And that's what they did with Diddy. Now, they came and got our first black hip-hop rap billionaire, stuffed his little ass in a cage and said, you sit there until you learn your lesson. And that's where Diddy's at right now, learning his lesson and being an example for the future billionaires. You see how this thing is playing out? What's your thought on this? Give me your comments, on Jay-Z. Push it up on Tony Busby. Was it only for Jay-Z, or was he indirectly, subliminally representing, looking out for the diddler? Somebody put it in the comments and let me know. But how do you feel about this? Do you think this even make any sense, man? Listen, look at what's happening, man. Our first two black hip-hop billionaires is now being attacked. Jay-Z's keeping his mouth shut, so he's still covered by that Teflon rope of people that keep secrets. Diddy came outside of that and went to try to sue these people. That feeds him. That helped him to get a $68 million yacht to just sit in the ocean that he might go on 2 weeks out the month. I mean, out the year. Where we at with this? Been on here long enough, got things to do. Let's keep it moving. We in the house. This is what we do over at Unique Make Audio. We tell facts and we let you know what it is. So to cap it up, Tony Busby is not even allowed to practice in New York City. Jay-Z got in his for coming at him. Or did he get in it for going at Diddy and then pulling him in? Tony Busby, you would have been cool if you would have let Jay-Z alone. Jay-Z's still protected. Stop it. Listen, man. Tony Busby, beautiful advice. They keep some of us under the cloak because they use us to be able to tell our people what and how they should move or do. Jay-Z's still under that. You messed up when you put him on there. All this going on, and they just found out that Tony Busby's not even allowed to practice in New York City. I'm out of here. Subscribe to my daughter's YouTube channel. Let's keep it moving.
Cheers, cheers, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. Fresh out the
can of 26. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squealing till the cops make an audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spin a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being an operative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours, so we can get back to the.
Cheers, cheers, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squealing till the cops make an audio.